What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another match here on TCGU University for the card game UniVersus. My name is Tam, and today we've got Donovan versus Kung Jin. The theme of this week's Campus Championship is a bit of a budget battle. We have made all of our decks with in mind of new players and people just starting out. So every single deck that you're going to be seeing here today has been made for less than $50. We use Rochester CCG for our pricing. So with that said, even the newest player, if you got 50 bones to toss, you can make the decks that you are seeing here today and all the cool combos that are inside them. So it looks like Kung Jin is going first. It's a real healthy build 4 as Donovan finishes his mulligan. And the game continues. So the goal for these two decks are as simple. Donovan says that every time that an attack is blocked, whether his or yours, you get to draw a card, and then he can give things plus or minus damage equal to the number of keywords it has. So the more keywords it has, the more plus or minus damage you get. And then Kung Jin gives every attack possible plus 4 speed. And then once per game, you can either draw 2 cards or take the top 2 cards of your deck and put them into your momentum. And so he's got lots of really cool momentum abilities like Powerful or EX or Multiple. He can just use his form once per turn and then fuel that maybe a turn or 2 earlier. And so with that said, we now get to watch.
Boo.
We now get to watch as Kung Jin tries to pop off. Yeah. Let me find.
I'll respond.
Kung Jin playing Life Force Thread. This card's really cool in Kung Jin. It's now an 8 mid for 8. That's very strong. Chaos Kung Jin, yes. So the reason it's Chaos is because he found this really interesting interaction with, Life Force Thread getting a ton of speed, as well as, and it's not on screen yet, Hate Fish getting a ton of speed is really good. And so you could just double the next speed or damage bonus this attack receives. Even though it's a 1 low for 7, Kung Jin could accidentally give it, as we just saw, plus 4 speed. It could be plus 8 speed, and so it could be a 9 low for 7. Just kind of saying that, like, hey, you're not going to block any of my cards, and that is the plan for this Kung Jin deck.
Tro.
9.
Goes for the block. We could make...
I don't know why I thought I was going to check a 6. I mean, I guess it's possible.
We could pass this check, hit the breaker 1, but we don't get the draw off of Donovan, and it kind of turns off the rest of our rest of our turn.
Sure, I'll take 4.
Any other responses?
I wish.
So from here, we
On a 3.
just sit and pass.
4.
Oh, no, 4. Yeah, got it. On a 3.
Build a couple of cool cards, and then call it a day. How aggressive do we think Donovan is going to be on 4 foundations? That's the question that Tyler has to ask himself as we continue to build out. Because remember, in UniVersus, you can only block with cards from your hand. Donovan said you ain't got gas, and he didn't. True. True point. It also looks like Donovan's sitting here kind of not having any gas. Maybe he has like 1 or 2 attacks in hand, but like besides that, there's nothing really there. Yeah, I'm seeing a singular attack in Donovan's hand, which is fine, but not great. You're going to see this Donovan deck is playing kind of an interesting engine. He's playing a lot of the Tira cards under death because of their interaction. They're all low damage attacks, but they have a ton of keywords. There's like 4 or 5 keywords on some of these cards. And so even though they do have low damage, Donovan, by committing an extra foundation, makes them very threatening. So here is what Donovan has to figure out. he has to figure out how to build the appropriate amount so that he can block these very fast attacks while still having cards in his hand to make sure his blocks happen. So building one, honestly, maybe two more out here might be the right play. He has to not do that, having 6 foundations. Yeah, there is no plant barrier in this deck, that's for sure. Past our budget.
I'm gonna draw 2 cards.
Opts to do the draw 2. Looks like he drew into nothing but foundations.
Bow Flame on a 4. 3. Deck 4.
Okay, so we've got Bow Flame coming out once again. Kung Jin kind of controlling the pace of the match.
Cool.
You're next.
I will pass.
All Kung Jin for +3 speed.
Yeah, Bow Flame all by itself is honestly not a very threatening card, just because of how unbelievably slow it is. But with Kung Jin giving +4 speed on everything, it can certainly add up quick. So we currently have a 5 high for 5 on a 4 diff that drew us a card, and said we have +1 to our next check.
I'll give it -3 damage.
Sure. I will.
I could have another response. That's fine. I'll take 2.
On a 5.
Goes for a Syndicate Slice.
5.
It's saying that it checks
plus my next check.
+1. Next check is +1. If it's blocked, you get to draw an additional card. And this one card only has 2 keywords, and so as we give it speed and give it damage, it's going to do more damage if not blocked.
Microphone. Sorry for the squeaks. I'll Kung Jin for +4 speed and +1 damage.
Respond to the speed.
Yep.
I'll give it -2 damage. I'll respond to that damage.
Yep.
Let it fail.
Yeah.
And then I'll give it -2 damage.
Sure.
Okay, so we have given this attack -3 damage because of the fact that Telekinetic Mastery being such a strong card. We'll find it real fast. Every time that my opponent increases the speed...
4.
Oh, I'm on Siegfried's list. Where is Donovan? Donovan's all the way over here.
Next speed or damage bonus.
Telekinetic Mastery. Hey, look at this card. This card's pretty good. It says after my opponent increases the speed or damage of an attack, it gets -2 speed or 2 damage, your choice. And then with Donovan, he can pretty much make himself Telekinetic Mastery for make himself Telekinetic Mastery. And the play is happening. It's coming out. Here is this Hate Fish, which is just a base 7 damage attack, 8 now with the Jagen form on. But it got 1,000 speed because of its own enhance of double the next speed or damage bonus this attack receives. So it's currently a 9 low for 8. 9 low for 6. Donovan's just opting not to block any of these in order to
I'll respond.
try and save.
I'll do damage. What's the odds, right?
If Kung Jin has any more gas in the tank, we will be able to just start popping off even harder and harder, especially with having 3 fusion refusals in our discard in our staging area. Donovan is twice per turn, yes, but we've used 2 TK Masteries.
Maybe. I'll give it -2 more with Donovan. Oh, it's only twice per turn.
It is only twice per turn.
Twice.
He attempted to use Donovan one more time.
Discard with Earthen Realms for +2 to my next check to play in a card.
Pass.
I will also or pass? It is a
9 low for 4.
any response.
You good?
On a 5. Got it.
What happened here is we used Earth Realm Mercenary to discard momentum. Your next check to play card gets
On
plus
6.
2. And Tyler, playing as Kung Jin, really wanted to make sure that we got to play some foundations. And so he played Demon Mutation, which is pretty good. Gives it your attack extra damage equal to its printed damage. Or equal to its printed speed, excuse me. Only playable if its damage, its speed is exactly...
Yep.
Speed and damage are doubled. What's the price on reduction? Honestly, I'm not sure. I can certainly look it up, though. Does not seem like a very expensive card. I will turn this off.
It's pretty bad.
It is a $4 card.
Thousand duels on a 2.
Yep.
Donovan opting to... build more cards out. Making sure that he has enough foundations in order to block appropriately.
Good.
Man, build 3 pass.
I'll burn you for 1. Use your nightmare.
Discarding the Azure Nightmare to get a little extra ping damage in. And Kung Jin looks like he is building as well as he counts his foundations.
On a 2. I'm at 10 after I build this in, so I'm deciding.
Yeah, Budget Raptor was another one on our list, and I'm sure that we're going to get to it. And I think he can do it without Hurricanes. It just certainly, like, Hurricanes just, like, really, really press the easy button for him.
This.
I think the thing about Budget Raptor is you might have to play some non-flash attacks, which does not feel amazing.
We'll put that on my turn.
Air is what I would choose as well, and I probably I saw one of our other TCGU crew, Travis, play
I'll review this.
the Taki combo card. What is the name of that card? Chad, help me out. What is the name of that card?
Okay. This might be fun. Ah.
Not Ninja Cannon, the other one. It has reversal on it. Fog Blanket. They were playing Fog Blanket.
Okay. Elegant Death Throes.
And it was a pretty neat.
5.
A neat card. Oh, looks like Donovan's actually going in.
4, 5.
Uh-huh.
We'll just start with Elegant Death Throes.
Okay, so we have an Elegant Death Rose on the field, and like I said, these cards are
Don't be there.
not very strong. It's only a 4 damage attack. It's a 5 high for 4, but it's gonna get an extra 4 damage off of Elegant Death Rose off of Donovan, and then even more damage because of the number of keywords that are on cards inside of our discard pile. And so
I will
And if the chosen card has a weapon, my opponent gets to discard a card.
Pass mine.
Mind Trigger is still a legal card,
I'm gonna
yes.
use 1,000 duels.
Using 1,000 duels to attempt to
Reveal the top.
find a slam or weapon attack. Definitely calling out weapon here. And he finds both.
Huh.
Wowzers, that's pretty good. Really strong. 1,000
will
duels,
pass mine.
an old card, a Mega Man card.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the Mega Man cards that still has
Oh, that's
value
7.
today, I think, inside of the game, just because of how many weapons exist.
All right.
It just says reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. It's a possible Pot of Greed, which, you know, almost never bad.
Peregrine Rhythm on a 5.
Yep.
Checks.
All right. As we said, we are playing a little bit of these Tira combos.
Combo enhance. Your checks get -1 for the rest of the turn.
Shout out to admission fees, I guess. Yeah, man. I mean, admission fees is also very good. I don't count One with Nature inside of that set, but at the same, because like
Oh, so you
it
playing
was
it?
it was
Oh.
printed significantly later, but it does have the
Good.
same
I
watermark, so I
should've
guess you
asked.
could say that.
You're good.
But as somebody who grew up with those sets when they were releasing, it's tough to put them both in the same camp. So this card is another one of those cards that Kung Jin's actually going to have to respect, because this thing could accidentally be 8 damage.
I wanna
A 4 high for
respond
8.
one play and take away the combo keyword.
Then.
And will burn for additional vitality
Okay.
if it deals damage. And so if they don't block it,
Yes, my
we're going to do a
first
ton of
one's
damage.
actually
If we
one,
do
and
block
it's
it,
50.
we are going to get to draw a card off of Donovan, which
You'll
is
take
something that
one,
hasn't happened yet.
vitality for each of your momentum.
Alright.
It looks like Kung Jin has a grip of cards in his hand.
I will.
And so I wonder what we're going to be doing with
Pass
all
mine.
of those.
Yeah, I'm good.
It is a 4
On
high
a 7.
for 4.
5. 6. 7.
Respond,
Checks
I'll
the
draw.
easy block and then responds, gets to draw a card. A beautiful, beautiful low block.
Be on a 6.
Oh, we have another one.
3. 4.
We are now trying to figure out what cards are worth keeping ready and what cards are worth keeping committed. Yeah, I think that is the right call. The thing about all the Tira and Jetta support is they are all playable while committed. And so committing one and then the other one
No
might be
response.
the right play, because there might be a time where we do want to give my opponent the momentum
I will.
off of his gifts of Mortal Blood enhance.
This time I start with the combo enhance.
Yeah, you can-
Your checks get -1 for the rest of the turn.
That's fine. I will pass mine hands.
Okay, so from here, it looks like we have the perfect block available to us, but we just might not want to spend the momentum.
If it deals damage.
Yeah.
Right.
And that really will be the deciding factor of how our game plan looks.
I will pass.
Flip.
we have a Recovering Lost Treasures being played. We do have to unflip a card. And one of the big defensive pieces that this I have 2 Donovan decks up. Whoops. One of the big defensive pieces that this Kung Jin deck has going for it is the card Sweet Nothings, which I'll just talk about real quick. You can see it on the very bottom, the very far left of Kung Jin's mats. It says Enhance Destroy, discard momentum. Discard this attack from the card pool. Your opponent can draw a card or gain 3 vitality, your choice. Personally, I think this card is very, very slept on. It is a 2/4 with a non-block, which does not feel great. But the fact this card can just discard a momentum, swordfish, and attack is amazing. It just discards it from the card pool. And sure, the gain 3 inside of this current metagame doesn't matter. The draw 1, they might actually draw into something nutty. But rather take that chance than just not, die to an attack. Right? I think this card's very, very strong, especially whenever you look at how easily Kung Jin is able to snag momentum. I think this card's very, very good.
Yeah, I don't think I am. I will.
But we will sit here and wait and see what Donovan's looking to do.
You know what? Actually, I will. Okay.
He has opted to make the play happen. Scavenger, I agree with you.
Next check is +2, right?
Yep. Anything?
No, I'll pass.
I'll give it 4 damage.
Ooh, getting in keywords. We'll go back and actually look at the attack again.
I will pass.
So he's now
Yeah, I'm good.
saying to him, hey, I need you to block this. I want you to block this. I want to draw more cards.
On a 5. Check the 4. 5. I'm going to choose not to respond. Just take the 4.
He wants to keep his
We'll take
momentum.
an additional 2.
He wants
I
that
have to count
momentum.
one more. Or did you already count it as a 4?
I counted as a 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just this count.
He did not into it. No reason to protect her.
Oh, I'll respond.
So his big question here, and I think I can see it in his hand, is do we play this card right here? Which can get absolutely massive with Donovan. It can get 4 speed plus an additional 6. It could be a 17 damage attack, and it's a 5 high. Donovan only, Kung Jin only has 1 card in his hand. But we have opted not to play that card, so we'll see what happens. Plays the OG Mecha Ninja to lube up his next check, and then
Which
opts
one of these
to
did you
pass.
With the fusion refusal.
The middle one. I took it, blocked it, blocked it.
Okay. So Donovan now has 2 momentum as well. And Kung Jin is just looking to see if he can squeak out the extra damage.
Shadow Slice on a 4.
Starting off with one of the best pokes
First
in the
15.
game.
Next check, get
We've
+1.
got Syndicate Slice coming in. If it's blocked, you get to draw cards. Your next check to play attacks get +1. Fantastic once you're in desperation. Just all around beautiful, beautiful card. And the fact that it's about to be a 7 high for 4 is also very good. Especially because it looks like we have
I'll pass.
3 hate fish coming after this. Crazy, crazy how many hate fish we have.
3 speed.
Alright, so we got a 6 high for 4, and Donovan has to do something about this. It might just be blocked with the Demon Realm.
We'll fail. Respond. We'll fail.
But it,
I'll pass.
that might not be the
I
right
will also
play.
pass. It is a 6 high for 5.
Opt to take the 5. I think we were looking for something a little juicier to spin that
Got it.
resource on. Something along the
first
lines of
hands.
hate fish.
The next one is doubled.
So this could potentially be getting plus. So here's the thing about hate fish, right? Donovan could give it +2 damage, and it would just get +4 if we had a low block.
Give it plus
And that'd be
at
really,
least 8 speed.
that'd be a really cool play. If we had any way to like give it +1 speed, that would have been cool. But we do not.
Plus 8 speed. And 1 damage.
Responding on the speed. I feel like, I mean, obviously knowing what's inside of Kung Jin's hand, we know that Donovan is probably dead this turn. But still sitting here trying to figure out if we do -2
not
speed
sorry, damage.
or -2 damage is very, very important.
Sure. 2 more damage.
He's saying that it's okay that he's gonna block, or he's not gonna block this one. So if we
Oh,
wanted to, we could just. I guess it's better to save the
Also pass.
fusion refusals for whenever they are
Is they-
committed, so we don't lose out on the resource of committing them. Taking 3.
9 speed. On a 6. 5. 6. Next one's double.
We are allowed to half block both of these and it be okay. But it certainly won't feel amazing, that's for sure. We will go down to a very, very slim number.
-2 damage. Sure.
I'll
Do
do
I
it
actually
plus,
get- You're good.
plus 6 speed.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah. Are you responding?
I actually don't love that play of the
Yeah,
-2 damage there. I think it's actually just way better to keep the 1 mid block for a partial block.
I will.
And see see what happens there. I also think we definitely give this thing -5 speed.
Give it -5 speed.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so from there it's a 2. We'll be able to full block
I'll give
this
it
one,
plus 2 speed.
and then there
for
is
this
no
one.
way that the last hate fish will kill us. It's just not possible. Actually, I guess with all the fusion refusals, I mean, it's still possible, right?
Minus 2 speed.
+2 to my next check.
Pass.
Pass. It is a 2-0 for 6.
5. Checks. Respond Donovan.
Goes
Any
low
other
block and
responses?
finds another low block. Insane.
On a 4, 5, 6, 7. You got it.
Terrifying.
Crazy, crazy
Next
good.
one is doubled.
You commit Donovan
I'll
here
just pass.
to give it +2 damage
I'll
since
give
you
it
know you're going to
plus
block.
8 speed. And 1 damage.
Ooh, minus 2 speed.
You are already going to be using the
Minus 2 speed.
his gift, so we actually don't need this second -2 speed.
My enhance is minus 5 speed.
Because it is not possible that we fail this block.
+2 speed.
How does he get the +2 speed?
Should be one above, right?
Yeah. Because it's a plus.
Pass.
Must have just missed it.
I will.
If your opponent's a desperation, he gets +2 speed. That's where I missed it. My apologies. On the card itself. The card has an ability. From here, we make our easy block. And then we might just turn around and kill Kung Jin. That might be an option that we have. He has to make sure that it's at least doing lethal, and this should be posturing to Donovan that Kung Jin doesn't have any more attacks in his
Pass.
hand.
I will also pass.
On a 5.
If you checked a 3 there, it was game over. Alright, so now Kung Jin
Spooky.
Yeah.
has to sit here and put up his dukes. Opts to not do that.
One of the hate fishes got through.
Yeah, I only
Okay.
got one more than
Just making sure you knew. Draw 2.
Okay, he has now 5 attacks inside of his deck.
Might work.
And so the likelihood of Donovan failing this kill turn is very astronomically small.
Checks.
There we go. Starting off with Macabre Skewer.
I'll start with Macabre Skewer.
How delicious. He removes a card from his discard pile. Your opponent gets to pick a card and put it up in your hand. If it's a weapon, or choose an attack, put it up in his hand. If it's a weapon, the next check gets +2. Really, really strong. It does have 3 keywords, so this could be a 4 mid for 8. Or excuse me, 4 mid for 6.
They're all weapons, right?
That's the goal, yeah.
Think. Which one is more devastating to me?
You're enhanced.
Does he have a
I
pure
will
heart? That is a question, ain't it?
Pass my enhance.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll take it.
Okay. Pretty smart on Kung Jin's ability not to.
6.
Yeah.
Check a 5. 6.
Job. pretty smart on Kung Jin's part not to block the 3 damage attack, because like we know that the next one's going to be massive.
So you gave me. Probably give me another one.
I think you discard the attack.
The fact that Macabscure removed Macabscure is... sorry, Macabscure removed the Elegant Death Rose that was given. Kind of just tells me that we didn't
Oh, you know what?
actually
I'm a
need to do it, except for the fact that we get the +2 to the check.
OG.
Yeah.
Check that as an economic.
So from here, it's our call if we want to use Donovan in order to give this thing an extra 3 damage. My gut personally says no. I have no interest in doing that. But it really depends on how Jeff wants to play out his line.
I'll make the check for the high. Nice. And then if you're gonna pass again, I pass again.
Yeah.
4 mid for 3.
Opt to not
Okay,
block.
go.
Man.
This on a 6. Check a 7.
Yep.
Oh, it's actually on a 5 for this one.
Okay, we've now gone into the rhythm again. Macabscure is a fury, and so we do get to combo with the rhythm.
Combo enhance. Checks get -1 for the rest of the turn.
Sure. I'll pass.
It's enhanced if it deals damage.
I'll pass.
I'll give it 4 damage with Donovan.
I'll pass.
Okay, is now 4 high for lethal.
Pass.
That we have to
7.
block.
5,
Haha.
6, 7.
I'll
Okay.
respond.
So we made the block happen, and we drew into
Cool, actually.
just another attack. Insane. Just play it again.
5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7.
We did draw into the 4th rhythm.
Your checks get -1 for the rest of the turn.
Seems pretty strong.
Sure. I'm going to discard it from the card pool. You may draw a card or gain 3 vitality.
This far into the turn, you
it
just draw the
wasn't
card.
It was on a 6. What did I check? I checked a 5. So I get 1 back?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
You
Okay.
may draw a card or gain 3.
So we use the ability on the Sweet Nothings in order to discard the attack. So discard momentum, kind of hit that safety,
Guess I'll go ahead and draw a card.
kind of hit that,
Oh no, that was the wrong decision. Now I'm gonna fail to check.
kind of hit
Terrible
that
to
safety
crush.
net.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
5, 6,
kinda
7.
parachute
This
out.
is actually a 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. 7.
Okay. Alright, so these, his Gift of Immortal Bloods are going to be really, really strong for next turn.
Okay, combo
But-
enhance. I can use your momentum as for the powerful.
I'm going to go +2 my next check.
That's fine. I can give you some more.
He said, I'm going to give you some more.
I will use original mechanical for a high.
Yeah.
Checks 1 speed.
I'll pass.
For the second time, 4 damage with Donovan.
I'll pass.
I'll give you a momentum. Yeah, just the top one. That's fine. I'll give you the top of your deck. No, the top of your deck.
I'll pass.
I'll discard it for 6 more damage.
I'll pass.
And then you'll probably block this.
Nope.
All right. Easy enough. There's no
I've
way this
overloaded the
kills.
high zone.
It kills because of the fact that you just got high and you don't have a low blind. All right, guys, that was game 1. We'll see how game 2 serves Kung Jin. All right, guys, back into game 2. We've got Donovan versus Kung Jin.
I won't.
So Kung Jin lost, and kind of because Donovan was able just to set up a wall that could handle triple hate fish. Not a very fast card, but it's got some pretty beefy stats. But it got a ton of speed off of Kung Jin's abilities, and so Kung Jin kind of just needs to outspeed Donovan, just push a little quicker.
Okay.
Damn.
Another one.
Fuck.
Man, this is a really strong opening build from Donovan. Having double TK is really, really good.
That's lame.
Okay, so if Donovan can get in if Kung Jin can get in a couple pot shots from here, this game might be able to swing quite a bit quicker in the opposite direction. Let's see how
Kung Jin, I'm gonna draw 2.
Kung Jin opting to draw to become an 8-hander for 1 whole turn. Might be enough to win him the game.
2.
Opts to build. I think this is a fine play
4.
as long as we get at least one more built.
3.
Man. If Donovan can't make a good set up a good defense, then it's possible Kung Jin might just blow him out. Is yet to be seen. Blood for blood honestly just doesn't do anything in this situation, but we do have a ton of
No response.
we do have a ton of speed hate in our hand.
1, 2, 3.
I agree with you, Love. We do need some momentum for those sweet nothings. Those sweet, sweet nuttins.
You know what? If I block, I get a draw. Come on. Oh, I have to make that.
Dang it.
Whatever, we don't need this.
Commits to Jolly Gloomy. From here, we're pretty much safe as long as we have the correct zones on things.
Got it.
What are you doing?
First enhance. It was not blocked.
So, speaking of ways to make damage happen, I asked him to play a little quicker, and Kung Jin agreed with me. So reduction
3 speed.
is a
Respond.
card that's going to
Go.
give extra stats to
Respond.
the
Minus 2 damage.
extra stats to the
I
the
will.
cards
Pass
in
mine.
the card
You have
pool.
your momentum.
And so now
6.
Spooky.
4. 5. 6.
this card's about to hit like an actual truck. Okay, so it comes in with 2/2. Now it's for us to now is our time to respond with TK. We can give this attack an extra 8 damage with cards on board. It's a very big throw. Okay.
Damage.
Minus 2 damage. I think this might be the wrong play. I think we actually go for speed here and go for the partial block.
Damage.
Where's the through?
Because I get
Oh,
Two
okay,
responses on
cube
each
for
one?
Damn. Fuck yeah.
This is fine because we're
Okay,
committing out
fine.
his entire staging area in order to make this play
The
happen.
next one's gonna get 3-1.
So at this point, the next one's going to get
Speed one.
plus 5 speed plus 3 damage. And then we can give it even more damage with the fusion refusals that are committed. We could add one of them up.
Not that one. Maybe not that one. We can go down to one of these now. -2 damage with Donovan.
Sure. Plus 4 damage.
Fail.
You only get one of those, right?
Oh.
Yeah, you only get one trigger now. Hilarious.
I was used to having 2 of them.
Yeah. Good.
I'll,
Oh, I thought the Azure Nightmare was another instance of the Nightmare card of... Where is it? Demon Mutation. I thought it was 2 copies of this, but it's actually just another copy of the Azure Nightmare. My apologies.
Go 1, 2. It would make it so either way it'd be demon.
I don't know, but I can certainly check. The only thing that I see is having Desperation attacks,
sure, I'll make the check.
and he's got 1 Murderous Addiction. That is the only Desperation abilities inside of the deck.
It's not blocked. Pass. It is a 10 mid for 4.
Hey, look, Free Love, we found our momentum. Momentum!
Oh, yeah.
On a 6. 5. 6.
Hey!
Comes in with 2, 2. So it actually comes in with 5, 3, 3.
Fail.
Yes, having Kubara's Enhance online at 32 health is very, very cool.
Speed. Fail.
I'm not actually positive we're going to be able to block this. It is a Hate Fish, not a Life Force Thread. Just because of how unbelievably fast this card's going to be.
Speed.
Sure. Can't use. I pick an enhancer card. Can't use that.
Pure of Heart coming
Pass.
in clutch.
Next one is double.
Pass.
Plus 4 speed.
Pass.
Plus 2 speed because you're a desperation.
Pass.
Plus 2 damage.
Yeah, pass.
Plus 2 damage.
Sure. Is that right?
Or is that plus?
Yeah,
Three.
I did it right. Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
So 14.
All right, just chunked him for half of Donovan's health. Seems pretty strong. And it looks like we might build one more and then pass.
Sure, block the one you could block.
105. 3.
Haha!
Might just opt
4.
to commit those last 2 and then pass.
Justice demands retribution.
From here, we actually have to keep a little momentum because we can just
Yep.
discard it with some of the tier of support that exists. And you can do that before we get a chance to use it. So we could have Jolly Gloomy. But at the same time, we can't have too much momentum or else Tier's attacks are going to smack him for 1,000,000. It really is this delicate line that we have. So we have a Macabre Skewer coming in that is attempting to pick up an extra attack. And then if it's got the weapon keyword, next check is +2.
Picking this one.
Curious.
We'll pass.
This deck probably would have liked Evil Bow, but I can see the
Nah,
trepidation of
maybe not.
wanting the 2
Maybe not.
check in here.
I don't have like. No, yeah, I'm not doing that. I will do original mechanical.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But with enough,
Pass.
the amount of checks that are being played, I think it's totally okay. To have, even if it was like 1 or 2 copies, you know? Just a little extra spice, a little spice of life. But checking a 2 when it matters, oof, seems pretty rough.
On a 4.
Elegant Death Rose coming in clutch.
I'll pick this one. Plus 3 damage.
You discard.
Alright, 3 damage, and then he discards a card.
Discard this one.
It's going to be the attack, and that's
Okay.
okay.
Original mechanical.
I believe we're going to try and
Uh,
make the block happen for this.
let it fail.
But if we make 1 check,
I actually want to do this one.
if we make the block happen, and then we show our opponent that we don't have any cards in our hand, we might just lose. Or those sweet nothings are just going to save us.
I'll pass.
Yeah, the next play Donovan has... Well, we can't play Downward Spiral because it's not in our budget.
Same.
Even banned, that card is out of our budget.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, ops to...
That's cool.
I'll look here for that.
Still worth a Revoke or something? But to be fair, Revoke is also out of our budget. So all we have to do is force Kung Jin to get rid of that last sweet nothings, and then we just try and blow them out.
6. If I got 1 in hands,
What's BSB?
what would it be? I guess it doesn't really matter.
Blood, Sweat, and Beers?
Use original mechanic.
It's fair. We could have afforded the champ cards. They are technically only $5, but man, $5 cards add up quick. You get
Deal.
10 of those, and we're already at our budget for our 60 card deck. In order to play it safe, I always just
4 damage.
Yeah,
this might be game.
you may draw 1 or gain 3.
Okay. We'll go Elegant Death Rose.
Mm-hmm.
5. Checks.
Checks the death rose. That's pretty good.
Oh, don't need speed because you can't block. This for more damage.
I'll pass.
Yeah, this thing is just smacking him for 8, 9, 10, 11. Pretty much putting him back to half health. I think this is a fine play for
Yeah.
Donovan, but certainly doesn't feel amazing.
And then
From here, I think the Keiko's aids that are in hand are going to be necessary in order to stop the onslaught from continuing.
that's your discard.
Probably nothing. Him playing chaos.
I'm not positive what deadlock abilities we have on cards at this point, specifically under our budget.
5. 3. 4. 5.
And then think we actually risk one more. I think getting rid of the high block is the right call here. Attempting to play it on a 6. Yeah.
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me.
Man, that might have been a huge misplay. We no longer can full block a hate fish. That's really, really strong.
Ah.
Committing both TK masteries. He has postured that, hey, I'm going to block some stuff. I'm not in love with it, but we will see if it works out for him.
On a 4. 3.
Okay, starting off with a bow flame. That's really, really good news for Donovan just because of...
All both. Get +1 my next check and draw card.
because we actually get the block with one of the cards in our hand because we held a high block, which means we get to now activate our Keiko's Aid, which means that if Kung Jin checks bad on the second attack, it might just end his turn prematurely, which is something that's like really, really important at this point in the game. With Vitality being 11 to 12, stopping my opponent is really important.
-4.
Sure. I will pass my enhance.
It's interesting. It's interesting, right? Because I actually think the flip -2 speed would have been better in this situation, just because we get to like -4 speed. Obviously, we auto block, but I actually think -2 speed we auto block as well.
On a 6. Got a 6.
And from here,
First enhance will be
yeah, this attack's about to have a million damage, and honestly a million speed as well. Like this card's gonna be so hard to block, but we do have the mid block and now a mystery block. I didn't get to see what it was.
Pass.
I'll give it +3 speed.
Now a 7 mid for 9. That'd be a 7 mid for 13.
I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this turn.
See, but now is where the -4 comes into play, because we are for sure going to be committing foundations in order to pass the block. But if we weren't going to commit any foundations to pass the block, then I think the -2 on the bow flame was the right call, because now we would actually have another readied foundation in order to block this card.
I'll pass.
And it looks like we also have a hate fish. Like as soon as we, unless we,
+4 damage.
basically what we just said there was either block it or, you're gonna. This just says commit. My opponent loses 2 vitality when they block. That's what that card says. I think a lot of times when people are rushing, which I've asked them to rush because that first game took 40 minutes.
3-1.
When people are rushing and slash, or when people are not thinking.
Trip it.
I'll just say it.
-1.
Bad kids have a tendency to think like abilities like +4 damage on my throw is like good. But like what you're saying is if I put all my eggs in this one basket, when reading the board where my opponent has wow, what a good one. That's really solid actually. He just said commit for my attack to guarantee do 2 damage, right? So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so it's going to take 7. The difference at this point in the game between 2 damage and 1 ready foundation is so massive because of the
9. 5.
because of the position we're in.
8, 9. comes in with tree 1.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Next bonus.
Pass.
Plus 8 speed.
Pass.
This is neat, and we scoop it up. All right, congrats to Kung Jin, winning game 2. Let's go ahead and move on to game 3. I need to come here and talk to chat.
Still good to go? Did you not knock? Okay.
Dave started, so commentate.
What's up, chat? It's Kyle here. I'm taking over for Tam for a couple seconds while he gets me a charger.
This is fine.
Do you want
Alright.
I'll also be fine.
Looks like Donovan's going to be going first.
No response. 3 or 2. 3.
Looks like just a standard build turn.
Go.
2, 3, 3, 3.
Okay. Pretty standard, I guess. I'll be real, I have no idea what Donovan does.
Oh yeah, this is better anyway.
Damn.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Wondering if he's going to do a poke.
4, 3.
Okay. And Tam's making fun of me now. Alright, I'm gonna give this back to Tam.
Alright, we say bye, Kyle.
I'll give it plus 4.
I'm sure. Okay.
What a face.
Well, now we have a bow flame on board, which is going to let us draw cards, lube up our check, continue our turn. Fantastic poke as long as we can hit an attack off of it.
I'm gonna guess that's not right. We'll give it -3 damage.
It looks like it's going to do at least 1 damage because of how Donovan's going to work.
Pass. That's it.
Which gives us our momentum, so now our Sweet Nothings is very alive.
I'm gonna draw 2.
Just the form. You saying the first form?
No, just the 4.
Opts to form and draw 2 more cards. And it's going to let us build like we are an 8-hander for the rest of the turn to try and get ourselves into a position where we can survive a bit of a backswing from Donovan. Looks like Donovan does have 3 attacks in hand going into the start of his turn. Going to choose not to review. Because our job's to get there. Starts out by slinging a skewer, it appears.
Jeez. Looks like you drew 3 cards last
Looks like
time.
we haven't opted to make that commitment yet. There's got to be some sort of attack that happens here. Ooh, rough start. Checking a 5 when we needed a 3, or checking a 3 when we needed a 5. Combining those two, we might be able to get Kung Jin to at least half health at this point, just because of how strong, just because of how absolutely strong this attack string can be, especially with it picking up more foundations and such.
I guess. I will pass my hands. I will pass mine hands.
Pass as well. That's fine.
Okay, takes the damage. Donovan needs tank to cancel that Kung F. I mean, I agree. Got an elegant death throws coming in. And is forced to discard a card. Ooh, discarding a Life Force Thread. That card's crazy, crazy strong. Really unfortunate we had to discard a 7 damage throw. But that's okay. I'm sure Kung Jin will find the rest of his stats a bit later.
I think I'm just gonna sweet nothings here. I don't want to take it.
All right, this is saying, does Sweet Nothing say destroy or remove? Question. Destroy. Okay. Yeah, just saying that I don't want to take a bunch of extra damage. I believe we are playing another Death Throes and checking poorly on it as well. Unfortunate for sure. But it does say that we're going to be discarding an additional card.
I will pass mine hands.
So what's happening here is Kung Jin's kind of just sitting and waiting. He has 2 cards in hand, but I don't think we're going to be blocking with those. One, because I think it's a non-block and a low block. And they are an 8 damage and a 7 damage attack, and Kung Jin has to mount an offensive on the next turn. Like, he just has to. And so he's opting to just face tank or just get smacked in the mouth by the elegant Death Throes so that he'll have a chance, a possibility to make this comeback. Takes the 8. And then we either attempt to play the Snolder or the Snare Boulder, or we just wait. Looks like we're opting to wait, which I think is a totally fair choice because Kung Jin doesn't have any extra momentum. So it's just a 3 damage attack, possibly 7 if we use Donovan, but then we've plumb run out of resources. If we find a reduction or 2, we might be able to squeak out some actual real damage on Donovan, but realize that he's going to probably have at least 1 block. He's going to have at least 1 block, and then with that block, he's going to have oh, we found 1 reduction. And then with that 1 block, he's also going to have minus 2 to 3 damage on 2 attacks. And so we are going to be able to stretch out this 28 vitality up pretty high.
The TK back to your hand.
Okay. I think that was a very good play of the pay 2 vitality using Outwell's Eris to bounce a card back up. One of my absolute favorite cards in the entire game. I think that card is very, very strong.
I'll also pass. It is a 4 mid for 1.
4 mid for 1. So we'd have to block with one of the 2 blocks in our hand. So it's commit one of our foundations to not take 1 damage. This just isn't worth it because we can commit a foundation to say we don't take 2 or 3 damage as Donovan. So I think we just don't block here. This is a fun game. Yeah, I agree. And the Suzaku Heidi match is going to be very, very quick. I've got the power of Bo Tucker on my side, so it will be fast.
On a 4.
Ooh.
Got it.
Hey, I said if we needed 2 the reductions, and looks like we found them.
Kung Jin for +3 speed.
This, if we can string 2 big attacks here, we might just get there. This is going to do 3 damage all by itself. Not to mention the fact of if we get the hate fish.
-4. Oh wait, no, it's only. How did I get that?
You are at desperation.
No, it has to be you.
I have to be at desperation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does this still work then?
This is so interesting. Why are we bothering blocking this? Is it because we know we can't block the other?
It's not great.
Seems rough.
Did you not take your 2
To what?
from the Outworld Zerus?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
now we're in there.
That might have.
Now we're
yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right.
I might have just announced it. Never did it.
So now it's okay.
I will pass my needs.
Pass.
2 mid for 3.
4. Respond.
Any other responses?
Sure.
Oh no.
Okay, looks like we have a reversal happening. But man, oh man,
Any response to the play?
I don't think so.
I don't know what we stop.
No.
Maybe just the Azure Nightmare so we don't re-ready stuff?
What is Way of the Warrior? Is that the one that has the response on it?
Yeah, response commit after you play a card loses a keyword.
The point here is not damage. The point here is to, if Kung Jin hits 2 bad checks, how do I keep him out of the game? And so the option is either the sealing the
I'll seal.
fusion refusal if we think he's not going to get there by at least 2 damage, or sealing the Azure Nightmare if we think he's going to check bad.
Maybe the fusion refusal damage might matter. So
Oh, pass.
I'll give it 1 damage.
I'll pass.
I'll pass.
All right.
I can't block anything. So just add up to 27.
We couldn't give it -5 speed.
You actually have to do it this way.
We could not.
Really, really annoying. On a 7, 4,
Yes.
5, 6, 7.
Yes.
Comes in with 4, 4.
Yes.
Kung Jin does have no momentum, and that's why he hasn't been using the
Next
enhances
one
on
is
reduction
31.
to grab said momentum.
Discarded burn you 1.
Looks like we got a life force thread coming in. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Do you have any cards in your hand?
I do. I have 3.
Okay. This is 8 speed. I guess I don't need to.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Ooh. Does this count to 14? 4, 5.
I think you just used the
No,
hate
no,
fish,
don't
right?
do that.
Did I really?
Yeah, you're making me have to do this on a 7. 5, 6, 7. Next check is +1.
It's not on a 7. As much as I wish it was,
fuck
it's
yeah.
not.
Alright. Alright, never mind. I just wasn't paying attention to desperation. 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it? Okay. And next one gets +1 if it's blocked. Don't need to worry about that. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 8.
Comes in with +4 +4. Gets the extra from.
1, 2 speed.
Wow, I actually hit 2 of your hearts off the top.
Hype.
All right. Well, congratulations to Kung Jin for winning this one. If you liked this video and you want to see more, make sure you check out all the other matches we have here out on TCG University. And I want to say big shout outs to Red Riot Games from up in Canada for helping the show happen. If you want 10% off of their order, you can type TCG_University at checkout and get 10% off. Once again, that's redriotgames.ca. Thank you much for watching, you guys, and stay alert.